The mind is the foundation of all things. It is the master that directs all actions. When one harbors evil thoughts, speech and behavior follow accordingly. Thus, suffering follows. Just as the wheel follows the footsteps of the ox pulling the cart, our thoughts become our words and actions, and those lead to the outcomes of our lives. When our minds are filled with harmful thoughts, our words grow harsh, our actions become unkind, and suffering inevitably follows, like a shadow that never leaves. This is why the mind is the true beginning of life. Today, may you take a quiet moment to observe what kind of thoughts are dwelling in your heart. The mind is the source of all things. It leads everything and makes all things happen. When one thinks and acts with a pure heart, words and deeds follow in harmony. Then happiness follows, like a shadow that never leaves. When the mind is clear and upright, our words and actions naturally become warm and kind. A gentle word to someone, a small act of care, these all begin in the heart. A good heart casts the shadow of happiness across our lives. Today, try to bring to mind just one kind thought from your heart. That single thought may become the happiness that follows you. He insulted me, he scolded me. He hit me, he took what was mine. If such thoughts are held in the heart, the resentment will never fade. When someone hurts us, and we hold on to that pain for too long, we end up suffering more than they ever did. Resentment is like a flame that burns from within. Only when we let go of that fire can true peace return to our hearts. Today, if there is an old anger or grudge in your heart, try gently setting it down. From that moment on, your heart begins to feel free. He insulted me, he scolded me. He struck me and stole from me. But if such thoughts are not kept in the heart, resentment will soon settle and fade away. When we hold on to pain for too long, the suffering has no end. But the moment we let go of those thoughts, the resentment disappears with them. Forgiveness is not for the other person. It is the path to setting ourselves free. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting, but choosing not to carry the pain any longer. In that gentle release, the heart begins to breathe again. Today, take one lingering wound in your heart and gently let it go. Hatred is never ended by hatred. Only through patience is hatred stilled. This is an eternal truth, unchanging through all time. The world often answers resentment with more resentment, trying to repay pain with pain. But the Buddha taught us, true peace comes from patience. Patience and forgiveness are not signs of weakness, but of wisdom and strength. This truth was true in the past, remains true now, and will remain true forever. Today, may you quietly face any knots of anger in your heart, and for just this one moment, choose to be still and simply let it pass. Do not delight in pointing out the faults of others. Instead, reflect deeply on your own. One who lives with this awareness will see sorrow and conflict come to an end. We often see the faults of others so clearly and speak of them so easily, yet the flaws within our own hearts often go unnoticed. But true peace does not come from correcting others, but from calming the confusion within ourselves. When we turn inward and gently shine a light on our own mind, worrying and conflict begin to fade. Today, when the urge to judge or criticize someone arises, pause and take a moment to reflect on just one fault within yourself. One who seeks only comfort in life, gives in to every craving of the senses, lives without restraint in eating and drinking, and lets the heart grow lazy and fearful, will be easily toppled by sorrow, as the wind bends the softest grass. When we chase after ease and comfort, fail to restrain our desires, and live in laziness or fear, our hearts become fragile and unstable, like weak grass bending in the wind. We waver even in the face of small hardships. True comfort doesn't come from indulgence, but from self-restraint and a mind that stays awake. Today, take a quiet moment to look within, to release even one burden. and let your heart grow just a little lighter. If one sees the body as impure and keeps the senses well restrained, with moderation in eating and drinking, then even evil cannot touch them, just as the wind cannot shake a great mountain. Our bodies are always changing, and desire constantly stirs the heart. But when we learn to master the senses and live with restraint and awareness, no temptation, no evil thought can easily shake us. The heart becomes steady like a mountain, unmoved even by the strongest winds. Today, try setting aside just one desire within you. In its place, you may find quiet and peace. If one refuses to let go of a harsh and stubborn mind and continues chasing after desire, unable to govern oneself, that person is not in harmony with the Dharma. Everyone has desires they want to follow. But if we cannot govern our own minds, even the most beautiful teachings cannot truly guide us. True practice begins by looking inward. When anger or greed arises, the path is not to follow blindly, but to pause and simply observe. That gentle awareness is the way. Today, take a quiet moment to observe the movements of your own mind. Just watch, without judgment, and let stillness grow. Cast off the harshness of the heart. Cultivate all virtues and uphold moral discipline. Subdue your mind and govern yourself. Only then are you truly worthy to wear the robes of the Dharma. Wearing the robes of Dharma does not automatically make someone a true practitioner. Only when one abandons inner cruelty, lives with virtue and restraint, and learns to master their own mind, can one be said to have truly put on the Dharma robe. It is not the outer appearance, but the transformation of the heart that defines the path of a true seeker. This is the way the Buddha taught us, to change not just our clothing, but the very fabric of our mind. Today, rather than focusing on how you appear to others, gently reflect on whether your heart is soft, clear, and kind. If one sees what is true as false, and what is false as true, that person lives with a distorted view and will never reach true benefit. At times, we find honest words uncomfortable and fall easily for sweet deception. The promise of quick gain may seem like truth, and in chasing it, we stray from the right path and even deceive ourselves. But in the end, falsehood always crumbles, and truth will eventually come to light. May today be a moment to pause and ask, what is true benefit? What is real happiness? Today, quietly observe your heart, so that you do not mistake what is false for what is true. When one sees truth as truth and falsehood as false, that is truly right view, and it leads to genuine benefit. The power to see truth as it is, and to recognize falsehood as false. This is not just a matter of knowledge, but a practice of using the mind rightly. If we can discern what is right and sincerely follow it, our lives gradually become clearer, and we draw closer to true peace and lasting benefit. Today, with eyes that seek truth, take a quiet moment to reflect on your thoughts and actions. Just as a poorly thatched roof lets in the rain when the storm comes, an unsettled mind lets in the flood of greed. A roof that is not properly sealed will always leak when it rains. Our hearts are the same. Desires and anger like rain seep into the cracks of a mind that hasn't been strengthened and settled. That's why we must ground the mind with steadiness and right intention to preserve inner calm. Today, take a quiet look at the gaps in your heart. What thoughts are slipping through those spaces? Simply notice, and you will begin to understand. Just as a tightly thatched roof does not leak when the rain falls, a well-guarded mind will not be pierced by greed. If the roof has gaps, the rain will find its way in. In the same way, if we don't guard our minds carefully, greed and delusion seep through the cracks and disturb our lives. But one who protects their mind and keeps desire in check will not fall so easily. In the end, practice is the art of building a steady, upright heart. Today, Take a moment to inspect the roof of your mind. Is there a space where wind and rain can creep in? The wrongdoer suffers into ways. They worrying while living, and they fear after death. This is worrying, and that is fear. Haunted by their own evil deeds, they are ashamed of what they have done. When we do something wrong, we fear it being revealed while we live, and dread that the karma will follow us after death. Everyone makes mistakes, but the more we ignore or justify them, the darker the shadow becomes. The Buddha taught, evil is suffering, even by its very nature. What matters most is not the size of the wrongdoing, but how sincerely we are willing to face it. Today, gently recall one moment in your past that still brings you shame, and let that memory become a seed for clarity, compassion, and a renewed vow to live rightly. One rejoices in life and rejoices after death. For those who do good, joy arises in both places. This is happiness, and that too is delight. For seeing their own good deeds, the heart rests in peace. A kind heart and good actions bring joy not only in the moment, but also leave no regret as time passes. While living, the heart stays calm and light, and even after death, the fruits of goodness follow. Every good choice we make now is a seed that brightens our future. Today, try practicing one small act of kindness. A smile, a gentle word, a simple gesture. Each one can softly illuminate your path. He regrets in this life, and he regrets in the next. The one who does evil suffers in both realms. Recalling his misdeeds, he condemns himself, and receiving the fruits of his actions, his pain only deepens. When we hurt others with a harmful mind, it may seem like nothing in the moment, but with time, the weight of regret begins to grow. In this life, guilt and sorrow follow. In the next, karmic consequences bring pain. The Buddha taught, evil brings suffering twice, while goodness brings joy twice. The thoughts we carry, the words we speak, and the actions we take today are shaping not only our peace now, but also the well-being of our future. If a regret is stirring in your heart today, may it become a gentle light, guiding you toward a better choice. He rejoices in this life, and he rejoices in the next. The one who does good rejoices in both places. He rejoices in the thought, I have done good, and rejoices even more when the fruits of goodness return to him. We often think of doing good only for the present moment, but a virtuous deed extends beyond time, beyond this life, and becomes a source of lasting joy. When you do good, your heart feels lighter, and one day that goodness returns to you as blessing in this life and the next. Joy expands and deepens. Today, plant a single seed of kindness, even a small good deed. That joy will surely return to you. Though one may recite and memorize many scriptures, if he does not practice and live by them, he is like a shepherd counting the cattle of others, not truly a disciple of the Buddha. No matter how much knowledge we have, if we don't put it into practice, it is no different from counting someone else's wealth. Even if we memorize the teachings and scriptures, if we fail to live them out, we cannot be called true followers of the Buddha. On the other hand, one who lives even a single verse with sincerity is truly walking the path of the Dharma. More important than knowing is practicing, changing our heart and actions. Today, among the many things I know, is there one I can put into action? Even a small step is the true beginning of real practice, even if one knows only a little of the scriptures. If he follows the teachings and lives the path, abandoning lust, anger, and ignorance, seeing clearly and awakening rightly, free from attachment and unmoved in mind, he is truly a disciple of the Buddha. What matters more than reciting many verses is understanding even one teaching and living it with sincerity. To reduce greed, let go of anger, and rise above ignorance, to see things as they are, and awaken to the truth. This is true practice. Even without knowing much, A person who purifies their heart and lives with integrity is a true follower of the Buddha. Today, recall just one verse, one teaching you can live by. Let that single truth guide your steps and bring peace to your heart.